Hello, everyone. Sorry, I am early. I think live streaming is like the only time where you apologize for being early. But I just decided to get started because I was ready. And well, I just didn't want to stay here for 15 more minutes. But it's not a big deal. I'll be here a while tonight working on this double page spread. So I figured might as well get started. But yeah, hi Marilyn. How are you today? I'm going to just pop out my chat real quick. That way I can see everyone. Hi, Fef. All right. So get that on. Just adjusting some windows while we wait on. There we go. All right. Hi, Emma. So this is from Mythomorphia by Kirby Roseanne. So I had originally thought my favorite Kirby book was Worlds Within Worlds, but then Shannon's. I was just about to mention you. And then because of Shannon's Kirby tag, I was doing some Kirby pages and Mythomorphia became my favorite. So I really wanted to tackle this double page spread, but I didn't have time during the tag. And then I thought, everything in this book I really want to do with Inktense. So when I put out the poll earlier today, a bunch of you decided or picked Inktense. So I was like, perfect, I can do this page now. So we are going to be working on this. It is a double page spread, but I'm going to start from here and work my way over simply because I don't want to put my hand in the ink. I am activating my Inktense with water brushes today. So I'm using a combo of the original 72 Inktense and then of course the 28 new Inktense. So just keep that one in mind. Some of these colors you might not have. I tried to use more of the ones that are in the US right now. As for water brushes, I'm using a few different kinds for different reasons, but I have like my Pentel, one of my Karatakis, and then my two Tombos. And yeah, I use different water brushes for different types of activating. So I've got a whole bunch off to the side here, but it's all right. This is one of my favorites too. I think it's really pretty. I mean, granted, I wish it didn't have the little doodads hiding in there. Let me zoom us in so you guys can actually see what I'm doing. Okay. Perfect. Fighting the kid shared. Oh, cooties. Dang it. I'm sorry you're not feeling good, Marilyn. There's nothing worse than like being sick in the summer, right? Because it's already hot outside and then you got a fever. You're like, I don't need more warmth. Hi, Mona. Okay, so let's see. I am going to start. I decided to do, I was kind of like thinking of my color palette, and I'm not totally sold on this yet. Ooh, hi there, shadow. There we go. But some colors I plan to use. I don't know. I just really pictured like tealish colors and lots of dark purples and pinks in this. I'm not going for anything traditional. I mean, does a unicorn exist, let alone a horse with roses as its hair? I think not. So it's fine. Hi, Allison, Emily, Gina, Veronica. I don't know if I missed anyone. If I did, sorry. Okay, so let me. I guess I'll get started with some greenery. All right. So for some of the greenery, I'm going to be using colors that are from the original 72 count set. So that'll be good. I have deep indigo, mallard green, and teal green. No guarantee that I won't swap out a couple of these. I've been staring at this page for months. Oh yes, I'm sorry. Unicorns do exist. You're right. My bad. They do. They said, and even my girls tell me that. They're like, "Have you ever seen one?" And I say, "No." And they're like, "Well, then how do you know they don't exist?" So I'm like, touche. uh, oh, no worries. Go take care of the dogs. I have hubby and son cleaning the kitchen from dinner and hopefully taking care of everything around here. Nothing worse than hopping off a live stream and then having to get back to mom duties. Let me get a page behind here real quick. Okay. It's going to look extra bright there. I'll turn down the brightness if it's too much. I'm not totally sold on using this indigo, but we're going to see what I think. Hi, Leanne. You had a dog fight? Like your dogs were fighting? Or they got in a fight with someone else's dogs? My dogs constantly are fighting one another. Like, can we just all get along? I already got the kids fighting and tattling. Don't need the dogs doing it too. See, maybe it's a summer thing because I've noticed mine are like a little bit more moody. I don't know. I don't want to put too much of this teal in here. Put a teensy amount. I don't want to let it just do its thing. I am leaving white space, but that's just because I'm going to drag the color and create a natural highlight. So I may end up having to go back and do a second layer. We'll see. While I was breaking it up, one of the others ate my supper. Oh man, I would have been mad. That's just not fair. Dogs should not be touching anyone's supper. I remember one time I was having like that's like a funky little, there's a line here that goes to nothing. I remember one time I was having a already crappy day and I was decided to eat in my room because if I was in the kitchen with everyone else, I would have been crabby. And so I put my plate on the bed and I went to go like grab a drink or something, and I came back and one of my dogs had jumped up on my bed and was eating my dinner. Like, what are you doing? That just was icing on the cake. And we have one dog that's a ninja dog. She can like jump up onto the counter and just get whatever she wants off of it. And she knows better, so that's what makes me more mad. She was way better. Dogs. They do have some, like, they add some comedy to your life, that's for sure. Yeah, I think this will work. I'll activate a couple to make sure I like it. So I hope everyone's, what is it, Tuesday? I hope your Tuesday as well. I don't know about you guys, but since last weekend, I've been so screwed up. I'm like forgetting the day of the week. All weekend, I kept waking up panicking. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta get like stuff done. Then I'll go, oh wait, it's Saturday. It was really screwing with me. And so now that the real week is here, I can't keep track of my days to save my life. Let's put, I don't want to put too much of that one in there. So Gina, the new colors from Blick, it's kind of a funny story. They have told some of my subscribers that they'll never get them. They've told me different dates. So honestly, you could call Blick and ask and see what they give you, but I have not heard the same answer from two different people. And like I said, they gave me two different answers myself. So this year sometime soonish is probably the best way to think about it, because yeah, I don't even think they know when they're getting them. Or they sure haven't told their customer service how to answer the question. Because I remember when I called, I'm like, okay, but I had a subscriber just tell me that you told me this. So they're like, oh, oops. Okay. My super dirty little rag. I just cut up like a big old bath towel into little pieces and made a bunch of paint rags. I have like a few from my Paul Rubens sets as well. Those are actually really nice ones. But you almost feel bad like once you get them dirty with paint, because they don't look, I mean, it doesn't wash out, so. All right. I do have the indigo in there, and the indigo from Inktense is pretty strong, so I'm trying not to activate that first. I'm trying to activate that last, and then just kind of drag it where I want it. But this Pentel is a little watery, wait, more watery than I want it to be. Words are hard on a Tuesday night. There we go. Yeah, I think that'll work. I am going to adjust my blinds because it is bright. There we go. I'm blinding myself. Okay. Yeah, I do like a lot of the new colors. There's a few I think they probably didn't have to add personally, or I would have done something different, but I mean, it's a unique product, and of course, because of how it's made, there are limitations as to what they can add and not add. And then, of course, they are also keeping artists in mind with light fastness. So, a lot of the colors I'd love to see probably won't be a thing. And the other thing I'm kind of curious with the Inktense, you know, Derwent typically maxes their sets out at 100. Now they do have the artist pencils that you can get into the 120. However, that's only in the wooden box. So I'm kind of curious to see if they stick to their traditional, like, oh, if we've hit 100, we're done. Because back in the day, it used to be 72 was kind of where they stopped at for most of their sets. But then with ChromaFlow and all that, I'm kind of curious if they'll start increasing the number or if this is going to be like the last hurrah. I hope not, because there's definitely some more colors they could add to Inktense. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. I wouldn't mind a few lighter colors. Of course, you can always just put them on the palette and make them lighter before you apply them to your page, but I'm lazy. I want to put that pencil right to the paper and get the color I want. Yeah, ChromaFlow. The ChromaFlow are just so disappointing. So disappointing. And I had gotten the smaller set when that first came out, and then I was like, you know what, I'll still get the bigger one just to see. And yeah, I'm not a fan of the ChromaFlow. I still need to give them a few tries. I mean, after all, I used to hate Pablo's and Pro Color, and I like those now. So can't write them off completely, but for the most part, I'm not impressed with ChromaFlow. Plus, they got rid of the thick barrels, like the whole thing I love about Derwent. Oh, hi, is it Vilka? Is that how you say it? Well, either way, welcome. welcome. Hi, Cheryl. And I think Susan, I didn't say hi, and hi, Marcy. But if I miss anyone, please don't take offense. It's just I'll look down and literally do one thing and look up, and like the chat has completely moved. So you'll notice sometimes during, like, if you guys are in a conversation, I'll be like, wait, what? What are we talking about? It's a wee bit hard. I think I'm going to rearrange my desk so that my screen can be more this way and less off to the side. I think I'll find things easier that way, but that requires a lot of moving. Let's see, curious to see if the other set's to 100. Yeah. I mean, I would love for the Derwent drawing ones to come out in a bigger set, but they don't seem to have any intention of doing that, which is a bummer because that's actually their good pencil. Like, stop messing around with the ChromaFlow and just release more of the drawing. Or heck, do more of your tinted graphite. So many pencils in your line that are just fine and could use some more. But I know a tinted graphite, you can only do so many colors. However, there are some colors they could easily add to their line as well. But yeah, stop screwing around with ChromaFlow. We're over it. Well, I'm over it. I know there's quite a few people that love them, and I don't hold that against them. Just like I don't hold it against anyone who likes whole lines. You should try them, Leanne. They're really nice. They're very soft. Not quite as soft as like a Prisma, but still a very soft pencil. The colors in the 24 set are just so gorgeous on their own. Beautiful, beautiful pencils. Well made, of course. I mean, it's Derwent. I'm going to make this a branch right here because it just feels like it should have been. So I'm going to just draw it in with my pencils. Otherwise, I just got a wacky line right there. All right, let's get back to. But yeah, I mean, the Derwent drawing are really nice. I like to use them in the fall because it has like the perfect fall palette going on. Yeah, I agree. If they would have spent time on just increasing the drawing pencils instead of the ChromaFlow. The ChromaFlow just, I don't know. Yeah, they didn't work for me on like multiple levels. Oh no, my doggy got a hold of a squeak toy. I can hear it downstairs. I hope you guys can't hear that. We have one dog that like is obsessed with squeaky toys. We have to hide them. She'll just sit there and squeak that thing for hours on end if you let her. And then the other two will start howling because they're annoyed at the noise. It's like, oh my gosh. All right. Yep. Okay, this indigo worked out good. I was kind of worried it wouldn't. It didn't look good when I swatched it, but it's looking fine now on paper. So I'll stick with it. It's kind of funny how I swatch it and I'm like, oh, this is not going to look good, but on paper, it's fine. Okay. Oh, hi, Leslie. Welcome, welcome. Happy Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning for those in Australia. Okay, let's do some flowers. I'm going to kind of alternate between purples and pinks with my flowers. So let's see, with the first set of colors, I guess I'm only using one that's new because I'm using dark purple, mauve, and amethyst. Oh, that dark purple is crumbly. Amethyst is a really pretty color. I like that they added that one in. It was like the perfect light purple that was just missing all along. We'll do that one pink. Okay. Now, if you're like trying to use these color combos and you don't have amethyst, you could just take your mauve and lighten it on a palette and get a nice light purple, but that's about as close as you're gonna get, unfortunately. Oh, great. My dogs are gonna be loud downstairs. Let's put this one. Okay. Hi, Ambient. All right. See, I didn't even bother taking my labels off. I just sharpened right over them. I did take the label off of like 2 just by heating it up with my heat tool. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. Whatever. Stay there. Okay. Let's do the other flowers. And the other flowers, I am using thistle, fuchsia, and maybe pink flamingo. Let's put in a little asterisk next to that one. I'm just not totally sure I want that one in there. I might use it more for the blooming roses rather than these little buds. We'll see. Did I see that someone has a day off? So not fair. Oh, it's there. Susan says it's her day off. Lucky, lucky. Hi, Charlie. Silverleaf, I mean, meh. The price to ship them here is pretty outrageous. So I would only buy them from Colt Pens if you've got other things you're gonna buy. But then again, if you really, really want them, you do you. But yeah, I mean, like the shipping from Colt Pens is a pretty hard hit to the wallet. I'm not gonna lie. And you can add some extras so that your shipping is not as bad. So you're not like paying as much in shipping as you are for pencil, but I don't know. Because it's so hard to tell when they're actually going to release in the US, because Blick can't give anyone a straight answer, it kind of leaves a lot of people like, oh, should I just buy them? My coloring book collection has grown since watching you. Sorry. Mine has grown, but I'm actually going to, I think I want to do my D-stash video this Sunday. I think that's going to be the plan. We shall see. I'm still trying to get everything squared away, but I really want to do that because I have like these piles of books that I want in the D-stash. So they're kind of getting in the way of my like orderliness here. But coloring books is quite the rabbit hole. Because it's not quite, it's not as expensive as the pencils. So you're like, well, I can pay $5 here, $15 there. And then before you know it, like 200 books in. So that's how I feel how my journey went. I'm definitely going to need a second coat on that one. Hi, Valerie. Oh, wow, you're in the UK, so it is late for you. Well, spend your insomnia with us, but eventually do get some sleep. Let's see. I think I'm gonna like these ones. These little buds probably are not as exciting to watch get colored, but And then I know I'm breaking my rule and not doing the background first, but that's because I am on the fence on background. I either want to do it all blue or I want to do it blacked out. So I want to kind of finish everything so I can tell which will work. Yes, Cult Pens is where you can get them right now. It's in the link in my description, and then Nightbot will occasionally spam it. But Cult Pens has the 28 set together. Now, what you have to keep in mind is the 28 set is created by Cult Pens. It's really just the open stock set. So when it comes out here in the US, it's most likely Blick will just have the open stock colors. They won't have an actual like 28 set because they don't curate them like Cult Pens. That's just something special Cult Pens did. And then it comes with the cute little derwent wrap and stuff. But just keep that in mind. Oh, happy birthday and no worries on the lurking. Yeah, I have to downsize my books. Plus there's just some that I'm not really giving any attention to, so or they're just not my style anymore. They definitely were when I bought them. And I've kept them like for an extra year or two thinking, okay, well, just in case my style goes back to that, but no, it's not. I think there's just some books you just know, like you've moved past that style of coloring and you just don't want anything to do with it. I don't know. But I have quite a few of those. And then I have quite a few untouched books that really, really need to freaking be worked in. Oh, let's see. Yeah, Amazon book or Amazon printed books are going up June 20th. And it's not the retail price that's going up. What's going up is the cost. And so they're requiring that artists sell their books at a minimum. So you'll notice a lot of Amazon printed books that once were like $5.99 will be like anywhere from $7.99 to $10. And considering they come on that crappy CreateSpace paper, that's where I say, yeah, no, I'm not paying that. So if you like, if there's anything on Amazon you like that's printed by Amazon, I would hop on there and snag it before you're paying $10 for printer paper. Because that's pretty much what CreateSpace paper is. Nice little bloomed rose here. But like there's quite a few artists that are on Amazon that are now switching more to their digital files because of that. So if you have a printer and you don't mind printing, go that route. Hi, Blue Bear. Is it? I'm gonna call you Blue because I screw it up every time. Hello, Blue. I need to like wear my glasses while I'm doing this so I can see the chat. Sometimes the words blend together because you're like staring down at something and then your eyes are readjusting when you're reading the text. Plays some mind tricks there. All right. Yeah, I think this color will work in here now. This would be fun with an all black background. It would just take so long. And I feel like a blue background would be just so boring. I don't know. Hi, Tanya. Okay, let's see. This page is really big and quite monotonous if you think about it. But that's why I decided to do two different color schemes for the flowers. So I was like, oh, this is going to get real boring real fast for me, like just coloring the same thing over and over. Yeah, I'll put the pink here. The flamingo. Such a pretty pink. Oh, love it. Amazon is having their buy 3 for the price of 2. Yeah, I've noticed it's usually just the same. But I mean, that's good if any of them are on your list. But usually, like, there will only be like one book that I need. I'm like, oh, can't get the sale. Honestly, there's not a ton of books I need. Like, there's some new ones coming up, yeah, in the pipeline that I've pre-ordered, but gosh, I've bought all the coloring books I think I should buy. Like, I don't know. I'm sure if I really tried hard enough, I could find some more, but I'm trying to just stick to like the pre-orders that I've already got out there, and then, my favorites on Etsy and PDF wise, but I don't know. I think is it yeah, there's 2 more Teresa Goodridge ones coming out this year, so I have those pre-ordered and I can't wait for those because I always love her books. I wish like you could get her full book digitally though, especially since they switched to that awful paper. Johanna Basford's Rooms of yeah, Johanna's books are usually included in those like, buy whatever, get one free sale on there. So, um and then occasionally the Hannah Carlson ones pop in there. I think what was the other one that's usually always in there? There are some Teresa Goodridge ones that do pop in there too, actually, now that I think of it. Or just Creative Haven in general pop in there. Don't want this. I want this one a little lighter than its other ones. Yeah, cute books can't get past the paper. There's quite a few like artists that have such adorable like books, but then the paper, you're just like, oh, if I have to spend all my time and money scanning it, then what's the point? Which is often why I check to see if that artist happens to have like a PDF version if I know it's printed on crap paper. There's that Lana Green book that's on Amazon. I'm waiting for someone to get it and tell me what the paper's like. I own most of her PDFs though, so I don't know if it's really worth it to buy the book. Because I looked at some of the images that are going to be in it, and yeah, I pretty much have all but like two or three. I don't know. It was not a significant amount for me to be like, ooh, I'll grab that and try it. But I am curious what the paper will be like. So if anyone has that on order, let me know what the paper's like. It's not Amazon printed, so I'm hoping they picked a good paper, but let's see. Yeah, someone said it was better. I've heard it's better than Amazon paper, but I'm still, I don't know, like I'm curious, like, is it the upgraded one, like in the Christine Caron and Darius Akasoy books, or is it just a totally different paper because it's a different printing company? I don't know. But yeah, most of her PDFs, I auto buy her PDFs, so it's it's like, well, I already got these. But I am curious to see if she's going to start doing books more frequently because, like, I don't buy the Christine Caron PDFs anymore because I know they're going to pop up in a book since she's doing the books so often now. It just sucks though because there'll be a really cute image and you're like, oh, it might be like 6 months before this is in a book. so it can be hard. Okay. Hi, Jen. Leslie, you mean which book are we talking about? I'm talking about the Lana Green book. Lana Green is on Etsy, and she has like adorable images. I colored quite a few of them, but yeah, she has a book on Amazon now, a printed version. So I'm kind of curious what paper's in it and like the binding and all that. And then of course I'm curious if she's going to start going all like printing books after. I haven't even colored in my new Christine Caron one, and I really need to. The Wildflower book, it's so pretty. And that one has some new images in it that are just so gorgeous. I keep forgetting to break it out. Oh, which Teresa Goodridge book? There's 2 coming out. There's another autumn one that's coming out, which is great because I love those. And then she has another gnome one, but it's like a Christmas gnome. And that one comes out in like September. But all right, Charlie, I hope you get some sleep. But yeah, you can pre-order both of the Teresa Goodridges on Amazon right now. And then this month, I know I have Mythographic coming. I think that I have something coming in July. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. I pre-order them and then it's like a pleasant surprise because 6 months later some book shows up or I get a notification that something shipped. I'm like, wait, I didn't order anything. And then I look and go, oh, right, I pre-ordered that. So that's kind of what happens to me. Trying not to get the flamingo mixed in with the other color because it's a really bright pink, so I want it to stand out a little more. I'm gonna have to put either thicker layers down or do a second coat for some of these. So because I'm lazy, I'm gonna start putting down thicker layers. I'll come back and do a second coat on these ones later, but I definitely don't like coming back and doing a second round if I don't have to. Oh, hi, Erica. Good evening. Welcome to me coloring in Kirby Roseanne's. Which I swear, didn't I just say, like, on my last stream, I had enough Kirby for the next 3 years? But, like I said, I put in that poll, like, okay, what should I use tonight? And people were saying Inktense, and I'm like, well, this page has just been pretty much all the pages in this book that I haven't colored. I'm just waiting to use Inktense on. I don't know why, but they all just scream use Inktense on me, to me. So, and I've been meaning to do this page for a long time. It can be intimidating though, because there's so many pretty versions of it out there already. It's interesting that flamingo color comes off like almost hot pinkish. Let's see. Pretty. So I know a lot of us have the new Inktense, but who's still waiting to get them? Like, I know most of us colorists just swallowed that horrible shipping price and got them, but I'm curious who's gonna hold out and be strong and smart about it with their budget. Because I can't say it was smart for me to buy that at that price. They were calling my name though. I know you don't have them yet, Erica. But that's good. That's showing excellent self-restraint, which I don't have. Do you have any of them, Eskies? Any Inktense? So I noticed the 72 count set on Amazon when I went to add the link. They're at $100. That's actually not a bad price. So I found that kind of interesting. Of course, like the 28 of them is what, like $50 on Colt pens. So as you can see, there's quite a difference. But yeah, I noticed the price of the 72 count set has gone to $100, and that's not bad at all. I'm trying to think what I paid for mine when I got them. Jen has no restraint. It's okay. You're not alone. Emily doesn't like the Inktense. Emily, but you do a lot of light layers and stuff when you color, so that's all right. Trying to think, have I ever seen you use any like watercolor pencils? I can't think. Do you have watercolor pencils, Emily? I'm trying to think if I've ever seen you use any watercolor pencils. These, by the way, are not watercolor pencils. It's ink. It's a water-soluble ink in pencil form, but I'm just asking about watercolor pencils. Because now I'm like, hey, I don't think I've seen that. I think that's a flower bud. It's gonna be. You do. We love Emily. Let's see. You only use your watercolor pencils in Kirby. See, and that's kind of, when I see his pages here, I'm like, oh, I really want to use my Inktense. Although I do have that one double page spread I need to finish with watercolor pencils. Just haven't gotten around to it. And it's all pastel-y, and it's actually, it would look really cute if I would finish it. It's just motivation. Inktense are just, for me, a little bit faster. But they are temperamental, though. Like, I mean, once that stuff's dry, it's dry. Like, there's no going back and saving it. It's a hard one. Like, when you're activating it, you're like, I really have to concentrate. I can't look up at the chat. Okay, the main. There's like some swirlies that I'm going to use as a main. Hi, Melissa. Who, Emily's Kirby page? I'll have to take a look-see. I am so behind on Instagram. Like, I'm posting I'm trying to post pages, and yeah, I keep forgetting or whatever, or I'll have a stack of things that I need to take pictures of to put on Instagram. I even have my own hashtag, and I need to catch up on that. So much to do. But I guess if that's like my biggest problem of the day, that's really not too bad. Put that there. These little wispies that I'm going to treat like a main. Not sure on the color yet for those. Oh, sorry, Amanda, but I mean, I get it. Kids come first. I told my husband, I was like, you need to make sure you shower our youngest. So hopefully she is nice and clean when I'm done streaming tonight. But I get it. I get it. I can only do evening streams on the nights my husband's off duty because someone's got to monitor the chaos down there. All right. Yeah. The red giant. I'm going to have to go back and look at that one for sure. I must have missed that. Okay, I'm going to make these a little darker so I don't have to keep coming back on them. Mine gets distracted and forgets. So does mine. That's why I leave like a list. And then I get told, don't treat me like a child. I'm like, well, then don't make me have to leave lists. Like, I'm the one in the awkward position of having to write down a list of what for you to do. How's the summer going for the kiddos? For mine, I guess it's going okay-ish. My oldest is just either practicing soccer or out with his friends, teenagers. And then of course the one with a broken arm is just kind of chilling there. And my youngest is super antsy and bored all the time. But it's because a lot of our neighborhood friends she has are out of town like this week. So, and it sucks because they all come back when she goes out of town. So she's even more bummed because she's like, when I get home, when they get home, I'm leaving. I'm like, well, you'll all line back up eventually. Okay, Amanda, have fun. Speaking of teenagers, I can see them all outside of my craft window. I don't know if that's over there. I gotta tell you, teenagers are kind of funny to watch. Like my son and his friends, they literally do nothing. Like, can't you guys do something more productive with your lives? Like they just sit there and hang out. And then I try to think, well, what did I do as a teenager? Did I literally just sit there and like us not really do anything for hours on end? I mean, like hours. My son will be in a hurry to like go catch up with them after chores. I'm like, dude, you didn't miss anything. I guarantee they were just sitting there. Oh yes, that I'm bored. My kids know not to say that though, because then they get chores. I'm like, oh, are we now? Look at this awesome scrub brush I have, and see that tile over there? Oh, your boredom is cured. So they don't say that anymore. Activate my flowers first. I go silent while I'm activating, but that's just because I'm concentrating. Like I said, once it dries, it's over. Nice thing though is if you put Inktense in the wrong place while they're dry, they erase really well. Looks like the vacuum needs some love. That's a good one. Those dishes in the sink look so lonely. You should go keep them company. Look at that. The towels in the dryer need a friend. Oh, that pile of clothes in your room that I told you to take care of 2 weeks ago, you can tackle that now because clearly your social calendar has freed up. I do feel bad though because my son has had to take on extra chores, because his sister can't do much. So I feel bad. He's like, "Why am I emptying the dishwasher? I never empty the dishwasher." And then he's putting things in the wrong spots. And I'm like, okay, I get that you don't normally empty the dishwasher, but you retrieve dishes just fine. So you know where things go. Don't quite understand why nothing's being put where it's supposed to be. Had a steady job at 13. I actually was working about 13 too. My son normally works as a dog trainer in the summer, but our trainer moved a few cities away. It's like a good 20-minute drive, which is not friendly on my gas tank. However, our neighbor just hired him to kind of be like their landscaper, which I find so hilarious because if I ask that kid to pull a weed here, it's like I just asked him to do 50 burpees or something. But no, our neighbor was looking for a teenager to come mow and pull weeds, and he was like the first to sign up for it. I'm like, okie dokie. So he'll be doing work just down the street for her a couple times a week to earn some money. So, which is good because with his soccer schedule this summer, I just don't think we'll ever make it to his other job. But he has got to save for a car because I'm not buying him one. And he sure is not driving my car. Oh my gosh, speaking of my car, so I had bought, I think it's like 2 years now. I had bought myself a car I had always wanted for myself for a Mother's Day gift. But I didn't think that through because now, as Mother's Day rolls around, I have to pay to register this stupid thing. So it's like I just bought myself a bill every Mother's Day. Need to plan those out better. No, he can walk to Tennessee. It's fine. It's fine. We'll just like have him leave, first of the month. Maybe he'll get there by the end of it. Walk back home. And then once he earns enough, he can fly, but yep. He's gonna have to huff it. Oh my gosh, why can I not think of it? What's the movie where he runs across the country? Forrest Gump. There we go. Whew. It's like I can't forget that. It's a classic movie. All right. There we go. Yeah, Forrest Gump. Good old Forrest. I need to take a drink of water. Look at this progress I've made in 50 minutes. To be fair, like the first 10 minutes, I don't think I was coloring. At least that's what I'm going to tell myself, because holy crap, that's like nada. It's because I'm thinking too hard about it. This is not the color that I wanted to start with, is it? Oh, it is. Nope, it isn't, because I don't want this one pink. All right, swap colors here. Well, I guess it would have been bad either way because there's purple there too. Oh well. Now this book does have those really obnoxious hidden objects. And so I've just been coloring over them and pretending they don't exist in this book. So I'm just going to keep with that strategy and call it a day. They're just not there. I just color right over them. I don't even use Posca. I just literally am like, do. There they go. And I apologize if you can hear the lawnmower. My husband's mowing the front lawn, which is right in front of my art studio, but that thing was overgrown, so I laughed because we're not allowed to mow it. He must mow it, but he won't edge it. And I enjoy edging the yard. I don't know why, but it's the best stress relief ever. I don't know if it's because you're taking a power tool and just whacking grass to death, but it makes me feel a lot better. But he won't edge, so it works. It's a good trade-off, I guess. I have to have my grass all flush with the sidewalk. I don't know. I can't be having it crazy. Melissa, did you see a famous comedian? Um, trees. I wanted to plant some trees. By the time I got to the nursery, they were out of the trees we want because we want to put Cleveland pear trees. I don't know if any of you know what Cleveland pears are, but that's what I want to put in my mow strip. So now I need to wait till probably fall. Although, I don't know, it's not super hot right now. I might be able to put some in. I don't want to waste my money and they die in the heat. But I also want them to grow before that stupid high school builds itself. Let's see, I actually bought 2 Mythographic Voyage. You could have always returned one. Yeah, they are stinky trees. But gosh darn it, they're so pretty. It's like a trade-off. But yeah, they don't smell the best. But like I love how they just have those cute fluffy white leaves in the spring, and then in the fall, oh, that color. Oh, so perfect. And they're just big enough to block the view of the high school. So like some of my neighbors are doing the cottonwoods because that's very popular here in Utah, but that stuff like screws with my allergies so bad. Like I cannot that cannot be on in front of my house. I'm kind of curious how the watercolor pencils do in Mythographic. I haven't tried them. I had that one book where I went to use my Neocolors and they like I don't know what the heck was going on. They dissolved something wacky. It was hideous. So I had to cover it with pencil. I mean, the paper is smooth, but I've used watercolor pencils on smoother paper just like that before. It was weird. Could have been a user error. I don't know, but I've used Neocolors quite a bit. Ooh, I definitely don't want to accidentally mingle those two colors together. Albrecht Dürer. And are the ADs doing fine on that paper? Could have done this page in Albrecht Dürer, but I just wanted the Inktense colors. I can hear my dogs going crazy downstairs, which means they're jumping on the couch because that's their new thing when they're playing. They jump on top of my couch and knock all my pillows off. But it's because it's cooler in the house, so they have energy inside. But if they go outside, they have none. I think this is... It does not look as vibrant on my screen. Let me adjust the settings real quick because it's like really bright in front of me, but it looks like really sad right here. So let me just get those back to auto. I think I had to adjust something during my last stream, so I'm just going to set it back to auto and see if that helps. There we go. Now it's actually the color it should be. Nope, because now I'm orange. Just turn these down a little. Okay. Let's see, I used a combination of watercolor and Inktense and Fragile World. Yeah, on the Kirby books it works. I was talking about the Mythographic The mythographic books, I'm kind of curious how it works on there. Yeah, most of Kirby's books I've used Inktense in. Really, like Inktense work fine as long as you don't have a paper that's. I mean, you could use them technically like on Create Space paper, and I have, and they dissolve okay-ish, but they're gonna leave a few lines on that paper versus like a smoother one, or not copy paper, I should say. But like watercolor pencils, I mean, I've even used my watercolor pencils on Create Space paper. I didn't enjoy it, but I have done it. That Create Space paper, though, gets super crinkly. Oh, welcome, welcome. So I always go live on Sundays, and if I'm not going to end up going live on my usual Sunday, which is 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'll put it in the community post. But yeah, Sundays, 10 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. My weekly stream honestly just depends. I'll either be streaming on this channel or my diamond painting channel, and the day varies because I just wait for a day that my husband's off duty and everything else in our crazy household aligns. So the weekday one is rather unpredictable. May or may not happen, and the day may not be the same. Because like I said, I need my husband like home to manage everything. And then all our kids in their sports. So we're all over the place. It wrinkled. But how did the colors dissolve, Gina? That's like, did they dissolve pretty well? Leave any streaks, lines? That's the one thing I'm always looking for. So on certain paper, your pencils, your watercolor pencils won't dissolve as nice, but also they won't have the same vibrancy. Like, take your favorite brand of watercolor pencils and go put them on 100% cotton watercolor paper, and holy shimoly, color is 10 times different. You'd be surprised. They're like popping off the page. Inktense on watercolor paper, woo! But that's just because the pigment has the opportunity to soak into the tooth and all the magic happens, whereas on this paper, it's just kind of floating on there. My Whip Wednesdays, I keep meaning to bring those back. And I do plan on bringing them back. It's just been a little hard, like to try and like I'm trying to, I guess, find my groove with everything going on. Because I do have my Etsy store, and I'm trying to like work on that. And then my job has moved to part-time, which you would think would make life easier, but it's kind of like probably partially a mix of my OCD messing with me, but I'm just trying to like get into a routine now that I'm working, 5 hours a day at my job, and then with the kids home as well. So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place lately. And I definitely feel haphazard. Like, but I do want to bring back the Whip Wednesdays. So they'll be back. It might just not be till summer's over, or I don't know, because especially with my son double rostering this year for soccer. Ugh. And we just found out, so the other team is doing 3 different tournaments because they can't have double rostered players in the same tournament. So instead of us just enduring 3 tournaments this summer, we're actually going to be doing 6. So that kind of sucks. It's like I would have liked a warning on that one. Yes, I print everything that I want. Well, this is in the book, but if I want to print something on paper I print it on my Nina 110-pound cardstock, and then yes, I do use a laser jet. And I love the laser jet because I can use water, alcohol markers, whatever I want on there, even my blender pencils, and the ink doesn't move. Whereas with inkjet, depending on the brand, often your ink will bleed on your lines. So I really like my inkjet. Or not my inkjet, my laser jet. Woo! That's good to know, Gina. So 100% cotton papers that I have tried. I have two Paul Rubens ones, which I was honestly shocked that they were cotton, 100% cotton. Because I was like, wait, no, but they were. I have Arches before, but it's been a while, so I can't really recall on that. Ah, crap, what's the other one? If you guys want to hear a really loud crashing noise, I can go open my drawers and pull out the papers. But I do want to try a few different brands. But I just love Etcher. And once you find something that works with your painting style, it's really hard to not, use it because it already works with what I do. Oh, Fabriano. Yes, I've tried Fabrianos. But you have to make sure you're buying the right one because well, like most of the companies that have watercolor paper, not all of them are 100% cotton. So you do want to make sure you're reading the description because there's quite a few companies that'll have like artist grade watercolor paper and it'll be like 300 GSM, but it's not actually cotton. So always, always, always read the description and keep in mind the most important thing in watercolor painting is not the brush or even your fancy schmancy paint, it is the paper. If you have the best brush and the best paints, but you're using some crappy paper, it's not going to look good. So yeah, I mean, you could use cheap paints, cheap brushes, and splurge on the paper. Go paper first, work your way down. From there, honestly, I would say brushes are second. Paint matters at a point of light fastness, but honestly, there's so many affordable paints out there that if you're just like playing around or whatever, you don't really need to worry about all that. And if you're just starting out, of course. So start with paper and then go to brush because, some brushes hold more water, some have a better snap. It all depends on what you paint as well. But yeah, watercolor paper does indeed make the biggest impact. I mean, I could take a cheap set of watercolors and make something pretty on a nice art block from art. Anything that's good. I haven't tried parchment. Yes, I know the Artistico is 100% cotton. I was just saying for everyone else, when you're looking at it, always make sure it is indeed the 100% cotton one you are purchasing. Because I have a Fabriano sketchbook that's watercolor, but that one is not 100% cotton. It's it's like the 1300 something series. I used it for swatching back in the day, but then I switched to my etcher for swatching. And then I now use it just for when I'm mixing or making my watercolors. I swatch it on there just to see if the paint is smooth enough. Hi, Cross Stitch. Doing more lives. I mean, I'm always live on Sunday, but yeah, the weeknight ones were here and there. And of course, it'll still depend. I'll never guarantee there will be a weekday one, and it's usually like that morning I'll decide ooh, I'm going to stream tonight. But like this was the only night that worked because Thursday, my son's soccer overlaps my daughter's gymnastics on opposite ends of town at the same time. I need to find a way to clone myself ASAP. So, if anyone's in science, like, can you all get on that? Because I got places to be and not enough of me. Ooh, I love that pink flamingo with the fuchsia. Fuchsia? That's pretty. Hi, Robin. Um, you mean my water brush pens? Or what? Like my water brush pens, I'm using 3 different brands today. So I have my Pentel, Tombow, and Kuretake, and they're all for different things. But right now I'm using my Pentel, but I have a variety out. But those are like the 3 that I tend to reach for the most, I guess I would say. Oh, Hanamule. I want to really try those. I do. There was a sale the other day and I should have just dove on it, but I didn't. I need my greens. Night Fab, thanks for coming. Yeah, the problem with arches is, well, the price tag. I mean, like, what comes on their block? It's not very much. And when you look at it, you're like, I just paid for that. I do want to have a nice thing of arches, like for paintings I plan to give as gifts or hang up and use it. But gosh darn it, I would hate it if like I messed something up. I really would, because it's so expensive. So it's really hard to use that one. But the watercolor block from Paul Rubens that's 100% cotton is actually not bad. They sent me 2 of them and they're actually pretty good. Are they like, arches level good? No, but they're pretty good. I love the way the paint goes across them. So, oh, you missed the Sunday ones. I'm sorry. Then been playing with calligraphy. Oh, paint and parchment. Yeah, because I wouldn't do watercolor on parchment. Kind of stick to your. And then that's the other thing with watercolor. Like, do you want hot press, cold press? I do cold press. I'm not a fan of hot press, but to each their own. I do have like these glittery watercolor papers that are hot press, so I'm gonna have to get over the fact that I don't like hot press so that I can paint on them. But hot press is just very smooth. It's not my style. I just love to swoosh my watercolors and just watch it like work and slowly absorb into the cotton. Something about it is incredibly satisfying. I think is that a leaf or a petal hanging out there? Yeah, it's a leaf, I think. Sometimes with Kirby pages, you have to like stop and like put your head back a little further from the page and see what the heck you're looking at. Your Fabiano block is falling apart? Huh, that's weird. Like the glue is just breaking apart and the pages are coming out. I remember I got mine when I went to Blick in person, and that was a dangerous day anyways, because my local Blick store had Daniel Smith paints on sale, but online they weren't on sale. So it was like a pleasant surprise for my bank account because I bought more than I planned to. Let's do this one in pink. I love going to the Blick store in person though. Oh my gosh, it's like heaven. And all the people that work there are just like super artsy and laid back and fun. It's just awesome going there. You can play with like everything. They have samples. It's Candyland. Only problem is then you want to buy everything. So, all right, I think I'll do this one pink. Oh, the Disney Thomas Kincaid book. Ooh, that's interesting. I know, right, Robin? I love the Blick store. It's like heaven. I'm using just 3. Well, they're not all green, but my greenery is deep indigo, mallard green, and teal green for this one. So 1 blue, 2 greens. Because I didn't feel like doing traditional green on this one. I wanted to be more tealish. Because I wanted pinks and purples and all those pretty colors. All right, I'll get a little flamingo on this one too. It is interesting, the flamingo, when it meets up with the fuchsia, comes off like a hot pink, even though it's not really a hot pink color, so. The Disney Thomas Kincaid, I have to look that one up. I know I do have a Thomas Kincaid book, but I'm trying to remember which one I have. Okay, this one's going to be a darker purple because it's a bud. And I still don't know what color my unicorn is going to be, but that's okay because I've got like, I don't know, 100-something roses to go. Need to. Right. So for water brushes, what are your guys' favorite water brushes? Like I said, today I'm using the Tombow, Pentel, and Kuretake. But I'm curious what, like, if you guys are using Inktense or watercolor pencils, which ones do you typically reach for? Leslie likes the Tombows. Eski likes the Kuretakes. I know Erica likes the Pentel. I answered for her. Elise is Pentel and Derwent. Well, Derwent is a good one. I only have the one from Derwent, though, so I still want to try it. Tombow. Oh, Ohuhu. I haven't tried the Ohuhu ones. What would you say the Ohuhu ones are like compared to like other ones? Are they, because like I do have a set of the Arteza ones that I never use. I don't like their push button and the way that it releases water at all. See, Erica, I saved you some hassle. I knew what you were gonna say. Oh, you lost your internet. No. Looks like quite a few of you guys have the Tombow ones. That's actually surprising because Tombow isn't a very popular one. So interesting. Keep meaning to do a comparison video of them because I have like literally an entire drawer of water brushes. So I need to like do a little comparison thing. Carandash. Ooh. Carandash ones I have actually, and you know what? I don't tend to use them, but I haven't used them enough to really formulate an opinion on the Caran d'Ache ones. I do need to get a bigger set of the derwent ones. I have just one, and I need like another size so that I can use it more frequently. Yeah, I do have quite a few. Like I've gotten sets from like art subscription boxes too. I know I have the ones from Art and Fly. Then I have some like no name brand ones that just came with like random things. And then, like I said, I do have the Arteza ones. Use derwent the most. Yeah, so it kind of just depends. Like, the one thing I've noticed is, so like the Kuretake, this is just one of them. They come in a pack of like a blue, purple, green, and yellow, or you can buy them individually as well. But I like these. However, I feel like they release too much water initially. Like, so I just kind of feel like they're releasing too much at once. The Pentel release a lot of water, but not as crazy as the Kuretake. And I just feel they're a little bit more predictable. You can like tell when you've accidentally squeezed it too much. You're like, oh shoot, that thing's gonna be wet. And then Tombow, what I really like about those is I just feel like they are one of the best for water control. Like I never feel like I've overflowed my pen with the water. So that's kind of how I feel about those ones. I do have the Prima marketing ones, and they're pretty close to Tombow in performance. But yeah, I need to play around with my others. The problem is once you find one you like, you don't want to really go and mess around with the other ones. Has anyone played with old eyeshadow or eyeliners for mediums? Yeah, I've seen quite a few people do eyeshadow, especially like eyeshadow for backgrounds as opposed to using pan pastels. I haven't personally, but I've seen quite a few people do it. All right, back to the greens. Just keep coloring, just keep coloring. That is gotta be a leaf. Maybe. Well, I'm not sure on that one. No, the Tombos aren't really expensive. I mean, I was pretty surprised when I bought them how cheap they were. Especially if you like compare them to the other ones that are out there. The Prima marketing ones I feel are a little overpriced and they're not as easy to get. So just FYI on that one. The Kuretake are kind of pricey, but I mean the Derwent ones honestly are pretty pricey as well. Yes, everyone needs more water brushes. Like I said, there's a need for each brush. I have like my 3 favorites out, but it's because I use them for different things. So, all right. Well, if it wasn't a leaf, it's gonna be a leaf now. And then I think this one we will do. Got like a random little clovery one. I'm gonna make it a leaf though, even though I think it was meant to be a bud. I just don't want it to be. Okay. Yeah, this is technically going to be a pretty limited palette because I'm not using that many pencils, believe it or not. Got like, what, 9, I have 11 pencils out right now. So we'll see. Hi, Autumn. Stopping in before you go to bed. Oh my gosh, I don't know about you guys, but I have been like, it's summer. The sun is up until like, what, 9:30 it feels like. Yet I'm still like, oh my gosh, it's 7. I need to go to bed. That's how I feel lately. It's not even a really hot summer here yet either. Normally by this time of year, it's just like roasting out there. It's actually quite mild. Okay. Okay, get some rest. Thanks for coming. Let's see. Kenny likes the Derwent #1. Ooh. Good night, Valerie. Thanks for coming. Get some sleep. So, does anyone have any good books they've been listening to lately? Because I need another audiobook to queue up. And I have like 3 credits. So, I really need to start using them. And I'm pretty open to different genres too. I've noticed like sometimes I'll even just like listen to biographies or I'll do a mystery. Heck, I've even tossed in romance novels. But I like to listen to them while I'm working and coloring, trying to not watch as much TV if I can. Reading The Wishing Game. Ooh. All right, Elise, thanks for coming. What's The Wishing Game about? I'd be curious about that one. I haven't listened to the Harry Potter ones, but I've read them all. That's good to know the narrator is good though. That's one thing about like an audiobook, right? Like the narrator can really kill a good book. So I have all of the Game of Thrones books. I don't like the narrator, but I know everyone loves him. I don't though. I feel so alone. 'Cause I'm like, gosh, I can't listen. Like when he does the characters' voices, it just everybody sounds so grumpy and I don't know. But I know a lot of people like his voice. So I'm like, okay, it must be me. Um, The Fourth Wing. Rock, paper, scissors, huh? Century trilogy. Look at all these ideas I'm gonna have to write down. Yeah, the narrator really does matter. Like when they do the voices, sometimes you're like, oh, it's over. I can't listen any further. This book is done. But like I said, I was like using audiobooks because I wanted to read the whole, Song of Ice and Fire or whatever. And so I went to like switch to audiobooks so I could color while getting through those monstrosities. I think one of the audiobooks said it was like 36 hours long or something insane like that. I was like, wow. But yeah, the narrator for that one, I was just like, yeah, I can't do it. Scare yourself for your birthday. Well, happy birthday and happy scaring. I can't handle the scary movies myself, so world's biggest chicken right here. Like, I can't even watch zombie movies or TV shows. Like, those things will haunt me for weeks on end. No joke. I'll be like checking the closet and everything. Afraid I'm gonna get eaten by some zombie or something. So it's really hard for me to tell my kids to get over it if I can't even handle it. I do have Stephen King's fairy tale one on my list to read, but I didn't know if the audiobook was any good. I've heard that the book itself is good, but I don't know if the Audible version is okay or not. Let's see. what's the Century trilogy? I feel like I've heard about that one before. Ew, there's a scratchy on my pencil. No, get off there. Lucy says the fairy tale Audible is fantastic. Oh, well, that's good to know. Because, yeah, I usually buy them both. Because, like, if you buy on the Kindle, if you buy the Kindle book, you get the audiobook cheaper or discounted. But then I also, get my one whopping credit a month for being an Audible member. And so I always end up, like, for longer books getting both so that I can still, like, finish a book and then read it when I want to or just listen to it, but, like, just pick up where I left off. But yeah, if the narrator's crap, it just ruins the whole thing for me. You're a big Halloween nutso. uh, that's funny. Yes, I know you can do the preview of the narrator. I've been taking advantage of that ever since I had a bad one, and I'm like, ah, what a waste. So I'll have to check out the fairy tale one and see how that is. But sometimes it's like it's not just their voice, it's just the way they tell the story, and sometimes you need more than that sample. You'll get into like the thick of the story and it's just like their voice is not carrying the suspense right or stuff like that. But at least you can, yeah, get sort of an idea of what their voice sounds like with those little snippets. I know I sound like super overly picky or something, but it's just like, I swear, sometimes I'll be so into a book and then just lose it because of that narration. I do need to listen to Mistborn on Audible because reading it is painful, but I've been told on Audible it's way better. So I need to do that. Let's see. Yeah, Leslie, the longer books, I basically just go get both. Otherwise, I'm not going to finish it because I mean, like, I want to color or diamond paint and can't really read a book while doing those. Although I don't know about you guys, does anyone listen to their audiobooks in the car? Like, I can't do it. Like, I need to be like somewhat focused on the book, I guess. So I definitely can't drive and listen to an audiobook. I have quite a few friends that do that. And I'm like, do you like actually absorb this story? Because I don't feel like I do. Like while I'm diamond painting or coloring, that's all I'm hearing. Yeah, Erica. I've been told by quite a few people that the audio or the Audible book like really saves it. Like I tried reading it and I got pretty, I don't know, I got fairly far into it, but I was just like, oh my god, I don't know, something with the text was just not working for me. But I've been told like if you listen to the audiobook, it's a lot better. Yeah, the sharing books. Oh gosh, that afternoon sun right in my eyeballs. What was I gonna say? Now I can't remember. It'll come back to me. I got blinded by the sunlight. Can you see that sunlight right there? Might have to close my blinds. It's like that's one reason it's hard for me to stream in the evenings is I enjoy the natural light, but the natural light is on this side of the house in the evening and afternoon. And it is really bright. Yeah, like if two people had an Audible subscription, it would be cool if like you could lend books to one another. That way, I mean, granted, I guess yeah, they're still missing out on money, but they're getting our monthly subscription payment. So, it's like lending a book to a friend. Didn't they used to have some sort of lending thing with Kindle? Not Audible, but Kindle. Am I losing it? I don't know. I just had like deja vu that there was something with sharing back in the day. You can return Audible books. Yes, but only within a certain amount of time. And often I buy ahead before I like actually get to using anything. So I'll be like, "Ooh, this is on my list. I'm gonna grab this." I have been surprised though, because like I have Kindle Unlimited, and there's actually been a few books in Unlimited that are good books. Most of the time, the unlimited ones, you're like, what the heck? But like one of James Patterson's new ones is on Unlimited right now. So it's like, oh, yay. He's one of my favorite authors for mystery because he was actually one of the first authors I ever read when I got into like mystery books. Him and his whole Alex Cross series. I read that all like when I was in high school. Yeah, there have been like some good like when Unlimited first came out, like the books were all pretty crappy. I was like, "Oh, this is why they're free." But as of late, I've seen some good ones and some big name authors too. Like Dean Koontz is on there a lot, and his are free with the Unlimited. So it's kind of nice. But when it first came out, I canceled it because I was just like, "Yikes. These are horrible books." But I don't know if they like changed it up or realized, people weren't going to pay for bad books, but I've seen some good ones. Yeah, Kindle you can share. Okay. I thought so. Cuz I had remembered that my mother-in-law or someone had shared a book with me once on there. So Audible just needs to step up their game. And why do the audiobooks have to be so expensive for Pete's sake? Like some of them like when you don't have any, Audible credits left and you have to actually pay for it, you're like, "Holy crap." It's quite crazy. Ooh, that's pretty, pretty, pretty. Let's see. D listens to them in the car. See, I just can't do it. I tried, but I couldn't pay attention to the book. Um, because at first I was like, "Oh, it's gonna be like listening to the radio," but yeah, I just noticed I'm not absorbing or like I can't get immersed in the book while I'm driving. I think is the biggest problem, and I really like enjoy getting immersed in anything I'm reading and or listening to. So I think that's why I just struggle to listen to them in the car. And then, of course, yeah, if my kids are in the car, gotta be careful what book you be listening to. But yeah, I usually just pop them on, like if I'm doing work, or my favorite is like diamond painting and coloring. I have got to reduce my screen time. Even though like I'm not working full time anymore staring at a screen, I still feel like screens just are constantly there. I'm gonna have to close my blinds because the sun is starting to set and it's gonna blind me. Hi, JJ. Yep, like Shannon said, it's Kirby. Woo, there we go. That sunlight was trying to hurt me. Um, let's see. Hi, Sarah. Oh, that makes sense, Marilyn. Like I could probably listen to like the more self-help category while I'm driving, but like fiction and whatnot, I don't know. That one's hard for me to do. Could also be because usually when I'm in the car, there's a bunch of kids like, "We there yet? I'm hungry." So- Why is it sad that you have this book, or why does this book make you feel like you have too many? This is a good one to keep if you have it. Well, in my opinion. I know it's not for everyone. But like I said, I thought Worlds Within Worlds was my favorite, and then that, Kirby event was that in March? Feels like it was in March. Yeah, I was like, "Oh, you know what? Never mind. I like this one way better." Get up here. Oh, because you didn't recognize the picture. Gotcha, gotcha. Thought you were saying it was bad because you, like, had this book. It's like, "What? No, that doesn't mean you have too many." I mean, I guess it does if you never touch it, but, then again, I never touched mine either. I sat there collecting quite a bit of dust. Only till recently was I like, "Okay, I'll color Kirby now." Night, Erica. You're not an old lady. Oh, woman. It's later there for you. It's like I said, I'd go to bed at 7 if I could. My kids won't let me, but we're gonna call this a leaf too. Gosh, I could not imagine like just drawing these books. Oh, goodness. Like, could you imagine drawing this? Like, this is just nuts. Especially even adding in the little doodles and stuff, but just in general, the artistry and like imagination behind this stuff is like mind-boggling. I want my brain to think that way, but it's not doing it. I'm like, oh, wish I could just like think of a unicorn with a big old rose mane and yeah, draw it. 300 coloring books, and your goal for the last few years is to color in every book. That's a good goal, actually. That's a lot of books. I don't think I have 300. I keep destashing. Like I have a bookshelf and I refuse to buy a second bookshelf. So, kind of like Shannon said earlier, if it doesn't fit, it's gotta go. So that's why I'm like doing a destash this month because yeah, like yep, I've got some new books that I know are coming from pre-orders that I'm gonna keep, and some of you have got to get off this shelf. Because I'm not gonna buy a second bookshelf to accommodate my book collection. I refuse. Like that is the tipping point. Okay, Nightbot, chill out. I need to hang on, I'm gonna change his timers. He's a he today. 'Cause it is going off way more than it should be. All right, we'll see if that fixes it. Okay, let's see. A reverse coloring book. I haven't tried those. I've heard good things about them, but I haven't tried them myself. I don't know if it would be my cup of tea though, the reverse coloring books. Maybe I need to watch someone do one on camera and see how it like actually pans out. That might help. actually been doing so because my daughter has her one hand right now. I've been doing this coloring by numbers app that she has. It's incredibly relaxing. I mean, you're just literally clicking a color and putting it in the numbered area, but like they've kind of like gamified it a little bit more, so it's like you have challenges and stuff, but yeah, I found it quite soothing. Like you don't have to sit there and pick color palettes and you can just sit there, finish a page in like seriously 5 minutes. Unless there's a teeny, teeny, tiny little spot you missed somewhere, and then you're like, where is that? It looks like it belongs in a Disney movie. Oh, thank you. Worlds of Wonder. Oh, yeah, I do like that one. I love the rooms. I'll always say that, I've always liked Johanna, but I didn't fall in love till Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. That's the book that really made me like, oh my gosh, I love her style. And so I like repurchased Ivy and the Inky Butterfly. And then I do like her World of Flowers, and then her Rooms of Wonder and Worlds of Wonder. Like all those are, or the Rooms of Wonder, I mean, are really good too. But like her older works, I have to be in the mood for some of those. But yeah, Ivy on Johanna's side is definitely one that made me fall in love with her style. No, it's not Sandbox. It's the Color Me Happy or whatever it's called. It's funny because I think it was on Sunday's stream. I was asking if anyone knew of any like fun things you could do while one-handed, and so my daughter was already using this app, but Kenny, she's in chat. She had messaged me about it. And I was like, oh, yeah, my daughter's already using that one. But then I ended up looking into it that night. Kenny, I don't think I told you, but I ended up looking into it for myself and downloaded it. And I was like, this is fun. So it's like nice and relaxing. But yeah, it's like called Color Me Happy or something like that. On my daughter's thing, it's got a different name, which is weird, but it's the exact same, like everything. It's like hers is Color Happy instead of Color Me Happy, or I don't know, vice versa. Like one of us have it weird. I have not colored in Serene yet. It is still just sitting there taunting me on my bookshelf. So, but like you can't get another copy, and it's really awkward to scan that book. Freaking awkward. So, but I need to color in it. I'm going to try and scan a page and play around with it, but oh, Serene is so pretty. So pretty. Happy Color, yeah. Okay, so it's Happy Color for my app, and hers is Color Me Happy is what it's called, but it's the exact same thing. It's kind of weird. So I don't know. But I don't know if it's because I'm using an iPad and she's using her Chromebook, but it's literally the same. Everything's the same, just the name's different. And I normally don't do color by number stuff, but I found that one super relaxing. Like drink your cup of coffee. It's kind of like doing a crossword in the morning, only now you're just coloring. Okay. Whew. Lots on this page. Trying to broaden your horizons. Horizons. Ooh, words. So when you're using water brushes, just quick FYI, you can always put it on your hand to tell how wet it is. And then you'll kind of get a feel for like which ones are too wet, and that way it helps you gauge so you don't accidentally put it on your paper and then have a flood of color. Especially with something like Inktense, because yeah, that stuff is permanent. You can literally use Inktense on fabric and then wash that fabric and it'll stay on there. I've been meaning to do that, like do some Inktense work on fabric. Why do I need to scan the Serene book? Just to practice some of the pages I want it before I color in it. Because I'm not going to buy it again. I do have, see, I know that I did that video of like the books I have not colored in, or I'm too scared to color in, I think is what I called it. I'm trying to think, have I tackled any of those books that were on there? I don't think I have yet. So I'm a big chicken. There's just some books you're like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. I need to switch to the other brush. There we go. The blue in the leaves, you mean? The tealish. It's like a teal. I have indigo and like they're teal colors. I did, while I was picking out these colors, realize that they could go for a nice light teal color, because the mint leaf color is, green. It's not really teal or aqua. So another blue-green that's lighter would be cool. But again, you can just put them on a palette and make them lighter. There we go. I like this one better. I have the Fantasia one, but at least Fantasia you can get a hold of. Not the first edition, but like what is it? I think the third edition is what they have on Amazon. At least that one's easy to get a hold of. But like Serene, gosh, that thing is like a fortune to get these days. Can't remember. I know like I had to order it from, it was like 70 East Books had it in stock, because I was like looking all over just to see who would get it and be able to sell it. But yeah, like the shipping was just as much as the book. I feel like the Tombow does a lot better with the Inktense. On this swamp guy, I love the Inktense on Kirby's pages just because, one, like the artwork is just so complicated that I feel like I would be sitting there shading for days if I used pencils. Also, I don't know, just like this book specifically, like every page in here, I want to color, but I want to color it with Inktense. I did do one during the Kirby event with Prisma, but yeah, like everything else, I'm just like, no, I want something water-based. I don't know. I feel like it makes it a little less overwhelming, perhaps. Yeah, I do feel like this Tombow does way better than my Pentel on the Inktense, especially for scumbling. You got rid of your Jasmine Beckett Griffith books. Did you just not like her art style? I'll admit, I have to be, in a certain mood to tackle her pages, but it's funny as I love her diamond paintings. Well, I should say depending on where I buy them. I don't like the ones from Diamond Art Club. The faces are all sorts of wacky. But I like the diamond art, or not the, I like the diamond paintings made by Craftably with Jasmine Beckett Griffith. Those big old doe eyes. Oh, the paper and the noses. Yeah, that paper is weird. It's kind of like the Anastasia Koldareva books, you know. They're not the same paper, but just wacky. Like the Anastasia Koldareva books. The first time I went to color in those, I was like, "What the heck? What is this paper?" I think I was using luminance on them, and I did not like it at all. And so then I tried my polys on it, and my polys weren't even. I was actually layering, which I don't do, but I was just like, wow, this paper's funky. There's something weird. Makes you wonder, like, why some like artists pick that paper. Yes, Ryan's fine. He deleted his channels, or I should say, he removed them. But he's not doing YouTube anymore. It's not good for his recovery, and he kind of just needs to focus on himself and all that. So yeah, he did take his videos down, but he's good. He's fine. I chat with him, and he's got himself a different job now, so he's working like some really wacky hours that don't line up with mine, but we keep in touch. I feel like this one I might need to go back over. Yeah, I know, it was fun having him. Never know, maybe one day he'll come back, but you know, sometimes you gotta take a break and focus on you. I mean, having a YouTube channel in general is quite mentally and emotionally straining. So I can understand why someone would need to like step away, especially if they have other things they're trying to get through as well. No, he closed his bakery quite a while ago. And by that, I guess like early this year. So I think it was early this year. Gosh, I don't know. Time's flying so fast. What I think was like 2 weeks ago was like 6 months ago. I don't know. But yeah, he closed his bakery. He had to. But he's fine with it. He's happy and moved on. So it's a good thing. What is that saying? One door closes, another one opens, or something like that. He did have a bakery, yes, but he closed it. This economy, what can I say? I mean, hey, my job's going away because of a robot, so there's nothing worse than knowing a computer can do it better. I'll forever be salty about that. Okay. Yeah, it's actually coming along pretty quickly. I mean, if I were to be sitting here doing this with just pencils and not like, say, the Inktense, I would not be as far. I'll definitely take a picture after too, because like for some reason my camera is washing the colors out because these are a lot darker and more vibrant. Like occasionally the light hits it right, but no, a computer really can't do it better, but it can when it comes to effectiveness and a company's budget. So in that instance, it can. But no, I don't think a computer can actually do it better. But, oh well, it is what it is. I mean, I could sit here and complain about it all day, but it's not going to make the computer go away. So, but it's fine. now I get a chance to find something else to do, although I really didn't want to do a career change this late in life. But hey, whatever. Don't really have a choice now. Let's see. So I was, well, in like my current job, um, or title, I should say, I've worked for this client for 10 or 11 years, but I used to just do like freelance writing for them before I became upper management. So, yeah, I mean, as a whole, I've worked there over a decade, but yeah, whatever. Um, what do I think of the AI art? So I don't mind AI art if they disclose it. Like they actually say, hey, this was made by AI. I don't like all the books that are flooding out there with AI generated images and then using the same title as popular books. Like for example, if you go on Amazon for a little bit, there was these ones calling themselves mythographic books, but they were AI generated, but they were using the same name. So they're kind of like just, it's sleazy that way. But also, like, if someone's going to do AI generated art, for Pete's sake, like, fix the problems. If someone has 6 fingers, like, come on. But I mean, it's there, whatever. I'm still going to buy and pay for a real artist, like their coloring books and their pages on Etsy. But I'm not going to like shame anyone that uses AI, coloring pages and whatnot. To each their own. Yeah, 6 fingers, no elbows and knees. uh, I know. I remember I was looking at one and I'm like, wait, where? Like, what's her eyeball had like a swirly thing in it. I mean, it was quite hilarious, but at the same time, I'm like, this is kind of weird. Can we not like just fix these little wacky little things before you publish this book? I mean, they literally just took whatever the computer spit out and published it. But yeah, I mean, as long as they're ethical and they say these are AI generated art, I respect them for at least being honest. Um, I am bummed though. One of my favorite artists that was on Etsy is now using AI to make her images, but it's because it's the only way she feels she can be competitive. So it's sad to see that happen, but it is what it is. Lips with ears in them. I know, is because like you put in the prompts, because I've played around with those AI generators just to see what they're like. And I will tell you, they are frustrating as heck. Like being a prompt jockey, nah, jockey as they call it, and like giving it prompts for what to draw and what it spits out. You're like, what the heck? But yeah, some of them you're just like, ah, but it's just taking images from all over essentially and pulling it together to create what you've asked it to make. So it's kind of weird, but I don't understand why it creates body parts within body parts that shouldn't be there. That part I'm like, what's going on? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, JJ. That's horrible. Uh, at least I guess you have it sounds like you have a backup or a place to go for your next or for your job. But either way, that's probably the horrible experience. I think that's a leaf there. Yeah, because there's trying to think. There was a really cute like AI book out, but I remember I had gotten it because I had a bunch of cute hair things in it. But then when I went to actually look at the hair up close, there was like these weird swirly Zentangly things, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" I don't know. It's weird. Fish for hands, fish in the head, but at first glance, yeah, that's the problem. Is you can't like you don't see it when you first look at it. You're like, oh, this is fine. This book will be fine. And then when you actually go to color it, that's when you start seeing like the wacky things, like the six fingers, because you don't even notice it until you go to color the hands. You're like, why is there an extra finger here? you know? But yeah, from far off, like just glancing at them, you can't see those wacky imperfections, which makes it hard because then you'll buy the book and then, yep, you're like, but fish for hands, that's funny. Would that count as being like Aquaman? I don't know. How's that work? Then it makes you wonder what prompts they use to generate that. Oh, weird things. Good night, Dee. Oh, so like one hand was normal and then the other hand was a fish hand? That's so weird. Were they like mermaid images? I'm just wondering, like I'm trying to like figure out like what prompts they would put in and how come it spit out fish on their hands. I know sometimes like when people are making AI art, they will combine images and those often create really wacky results. So I wonder if that's what it is. Like I've gone on to an AI generator because I was trying to give my designer an idea of what I wanted for my logo, and I was like trying to explain it to him, and I was like, "Here, I'll just like plug it into AI these two images and see what it gives me to give you an idea of like because I was still hiring him to do it. I don't want AI creating my logo." But what AI gave me back was nothing. Like the combination of those images was like the wackiest thing I'd ever witnessed. So I was like, yeah, never mind. You're just gonna have to like roll with the creativity on your own here. But yeah, it's like it mashed them together in no logical sense either. It literally just like combined two images. Hi, Allison. All right, have a good night, JJ. You can come walk my puppies if you'd like. Yes, it does hurt the true artist. That's why I say it's still like I always buy like some of my favorites on Etsy. And then like even the ones that do print, like Hannah Lynn and stuff like that. I'm buying theirs. Although for Hannah Lynn now, I've switched to her website and I'm purchasing just the books, her artist edition ones instead of the ones printed through Amazon. And there's nothing because like I just don't like create space paper and I'm not going to pay now that extra price. So, because I was like, I might as well just get her artist grade ones now with the price hike that's going up. But that also helps support her. Then she's not losing the cut to Amazon. And then I just keep buying from my favorite artists when they pop up on Etsy. There's a few that haven't been making art lately, so I'm kind of like hoping that they're not giving up just because of AI, or they're not producing as many as they used to, I should say. But I know it's hard because like if you go on Etsy and look for adult coloring pages, um, you can spot the AI pretty easily. Like it's quite obvious in the way they're drawn, like the grayscale and the rendering. But yeah, it's just there are quite a few. But they're also super, super cheap. So that's another red flag because they'll sell you like 40 pages for $1. So, I do like Hannah Lynn too. Oh, I think I saw the thumbnail for that one, Kenny, and I didn't watch the video. I need to go back and watch. But I knew what she was doing the video about, so that's why I was like, eh. Oh, how come Christine stopped her Patreon? That is a bummer. I wasn't a Patreon of hers, but that's sad to hear she stopped it. Like I'm a Patreon for Hannah Lynn, Yana Prosperina. Who are the others? I know there's others because my Patreon bill every month is not cheap. Oh, Rain. Although she's kind of like reduced how much she's creating lately. So she dropped everyone's tiers down. Molly Harrison. Although I might drop the Molly Harrison one, only because a lot of her images she's been sharing I already have. Oh, see, that's so sad. When your images are getting stolen, so you have to stop Patreon, which is like kind of like a monthly guaranteed income for some of these artists. So that's just off. Like this is why do people have to ruin it for us? Like, the bad apples ruin it for the rest of us. That's sad. And she had really cute Patreon images. I remember like seeing some of those and they were adorable. That's Yeah, I mean if it's not bad enough with the AI, there's still the theft going on. And it's not just like theft from the artists, it's even like theft from colorists. People will take your picture and post it saying they colored it. And it's like, whoa, come on now. Oh, so she has it, but she's not gonna release images. I'm just turning on my light here. Well, either way, that's a bummer because her Patreon images were super duper cute. Like I have the Hannah Lynn one, so you get like a bookmark, a calendar. No, not a calendar. That's Yana Prosperina. You get a bookmark, a couple images, both in line art and grayscale, because she's doing that now. And then like I have Yana Prosperina gives you a calendar every month. They're super cute. I know that's sad she's not doing it. Like I said, other people ruining it for the rest of us. Yeah, it blows my mind too. Stop stealing images, for Pete's sake. If you didn't color it, you didn't color it. Just leave it alone. That was one of the many reasons I closed my Facebook group, because it was just so hard, like policing that stuff on top of everything else. So I was like, all right, and done. But I just never get it why people would steal. Like, I mean, it's a freaking coloring page that someone else colored. Just let them have it. Yeah, Christine Caron's one of my favorite artists. Love her artwork. Those big, beautiful eyes she puts on all of them. And all the hair, because, I hate coloring hair. Although if she put more hair on them, she would be my absolute favorite. But because the hair's kind of small, Mariola Budek takes the cake. So I need a picture just like all hair, just a little bit of like everything else. No, don't want that one pink. No, I want this one pink. I wonder if any other artists are going to have to stop their Patreons, because that's a bummer. I know a few have said they may have to increase the prices of their Patreons just because they've lost so much in book sales from all the AI books oversaturating the market, but which doesn't bother me, but I haven't heard of any others canceling. Which book do you look at? I mean, I just enjoy coloring hair because, well, I don't know. It's repetitive but relaxing. I mean, I could see how it would be boring sometimes too, but for me, it's just I can zone out and like complete a whole head of hair. I don't know. It's my zen, as I call it. It's flick therapy. I'll say that 5 times fast. I agree, Kenny. I agree. If you can't do it yourself, just don't do it at all. But here's the sad thing, like, I feel like some people steal other people's coloring pages because they just, feel like they can't color that well. But really, they probably could if they just tried. I don't know. It's just sad. My blue hair tutorial. Oh, the one already on my channel? I think with Brute Fooners. I think that's the only blue-haired one I ever did was with Brute Fooners. I'm not gonna lie, Brute Fooner squares are not the best for hair because they're rather soft, but if you don't mind sharpening. I think that's the only blue-haired one I've done on my channel. I want to do a rainbow hair tutorial. I just need to be in the mood. Oh my gosh, rainbow hair. Whew. So much work. Did a few ombre ones, I think. Or no, maybe I just took pictures of them. Can't remember now. But the rainbow one is such a pain in the buns. Like, I already typically, when I'm coloring hair for myself, use like 7 colors. So a rainbow one, probably gonna have like 20 colors out. Like, okay, everyone, just grab your entire set of pencils. Yeah, the Brute Finners and Mariola Budek. Yeah, that's what I thought it was. The alphabet challenge. I've been trying to. I've thought of like starting where I left off because I don't want to like not finish it. But it's just been more of I kind of got into a funk where like I just don't feel like using certain items. So I plan to review them and then just do them give them away in like a de-stash. Because I've noticed lately there's just, with my limited amount of free time, there's just certain pencils I want to reach for. And that's what I want to reach for. Don't feel like forcing myself lately. Nope, the Brute Pruner squares, it's yeah, they're not on Amazon. I don't know if they're even coming back, which is a big bummer because they stuck it out pretty long for one of those, like, budgety sets. But I don't know. Someone said they're on that Temu or whatever site, but I don't plan to shop there. So I know the round Brute Pruners are still on Amazon, but I have one spare set of the squares. So once it's gone, I guess it's gone. I actually like those pencils. They're not bad at all. And the price of those things was like awesome. But I have seen a lot of brands moving over to that Temu or whatever, however you say it, site. Might need to sharpen my indigo for some of these smaller areas. Let's see. I had bought I bought a second set not too long ago because I just wait for the lightning deals, or did wait for the lightning deals for them, because they had pretty good lightning deals, and I had grabbed that set. But yeah, the other day I went to look them up for something, and I realized they were gone, and so have been checking just to see if they'll come back, and nada. So I don't know. I know there was a brief period where they were out before and they came back. And then that's when they came back with a matte square barrel instead of the shiny. But I don't know if that's going to be the case this time, where they're like just, reformulating things or what. But yeah, I mean, it is a budget pencil that, it's not like brands like Prisma or Derwent or things like that are going to stick around. Like if a derwent just fell off the face of the earth, all sorts of artists would be like, "What's going on?" Yeah, that's why I'm not going touching Temu like a 10-foot pole, because that's just no thanks. I mean, it's kind of like a lot of those super, like, I mean, it's too good to be true on that Temu site anyways. The freaking price of things on there, holy cow. Like, something is going to be shady somewhere in there. Like, that's just how I look at it. Because, like, I've had a few people say, you should get your diamond paintings on there. And I'm like, no, I don't even care. Like, but there'll be like a diamond painting for $4. And I'm like, this cannot be right. So, yeah, they're getting something out of it somewhere. But, yeah, I've heard about the theft that they're doing. And, yeah, I'm not touching that. I'll stick to Amazon. Yeah, it's at the Bao, well, however you say it, Bao whatever name, for a little while now. But those are the Brute Furner squares, but that's what they were renamed quite a few months ago, actually. But again, like I said, those budgety sets, you can't really rely on them. They're fun to use, but it's kind of one of those things you got to enjoy while it's there, and then it may just disappear one day. Like, it's just how it goes with those things. That's why I just buy my Prismas in bulk, because I know those won't go away. If they do, I'll be really mad. But I'll also have a huge stash, so I can, like, sell them on eBay. Yeah, like, I've heard that they can, it wasn't just contacts. I've heard that some people's credit card information has been stolen. Yeah, so the Brute Furner squares that say Bao Jitian or whatever, those are the same as the other Brute Furners. They changed that name quite a while ago. And I know that because I have purchased a set with that name, and they're the exact same pencil. Yeah, once they have your information, I mean, deleting it, it's taken. But I mean, here's the thing: if you shop anywhere on the internet, your information is out there. Um, that's just the world we live in. But the more, or like the less I can put out there is the better for me. But I have like one of those part of our credit watch things that like searches the dark web for your information, and I'm like, okay, that's great, you found it, but what am I supposed to do with this? So I always find that kind of interesting. Some colorists have posted their hauls. You mean from Temu, or however you say that place? I've seen quite a few people, not just the coloring community, diamond painting. I've actually seen some artists hauling stuff from there too. I just don't want them. I don't want to. But yeah, it's not just the coloring community. There's quite a few. Everyone's kind of like, in awe with the prices and trying it out. Because I mean, it is freaky cheap, and like you don't even have to like pay a fortune in shipping either. So I can see why a lot of people have tried it. It's kind of like the new AliExpress, only not good for your credit. I mean, AliExpress is pretty hit or miss, but they haven't like really stolen people's info. Not that I know of. Or they haven't gotten caught doing it, I should say. Yeah, a lot of folks are buying from there. I mean, a lot of what they have on there is like the same stuff on Amazon, just way freaky cheaper, but I'm also impatient and I pay for Amazon Prime and I want that 2-day shipping. So I'm just going to stick to Amazon. I think I'm going to make that one a leaf. Yeah, exactly, Marilyn. It's like the big rush. AliExpress was like the hot new thing. Everyone was using it, and then now it's like, oh, AliExpress, gosh, I have to wait a month to see my package. I'm trying to think, what did I order from AliExpress? You know what? The last thing I ordered from them, yeah, I ordered the 520 brute fooners from them before they were available on Amazon. The 200 pencils for $5. I like the sarcasm there. Yeah, I mean, AliExpress cracks me up. They had Copics on there once, but they weren't actually Copics. Yeah, that one had me laughing. I mean, even the picture, they didn't even look like Copics. I'm like, did anyone actually buy these? Because this looks nothing like a Copic marker. And they were like, of course, freaky cheap. Yeah, I think the thing I got was the Brute Fooner 520s. And I might have gotten I might have gotten those Brute Fooner macaroon ones off there too, now that I think about it, but I can't remember for sure. I know that 2-day, well, heck, now it's not even 2-day. Like, oh my gosh, I went to order something on Amazon the other day, and they're like, well, if you get $25 more of like something that qualifies for same day, you'll have it between 5 and 10 p.m. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's same day. And then they also have this thing now that's called overnight delivery. And no joke, like my package was delivered at 4 a.m. Like, it's nuts what Amazon is doing. I mean, I felt bad for the dude that had to deliver my package at 4 a.m. because I wasn't exactly up and in a rush to get it, but that was the delivery option it gave me. And so I was like, okay. But yeah, it's kind of nuts now. Yeah, so like all the Brute Furner, the Brute Furner brand, you need to keep in mind is manufactured in China. You know, it's one of those cheap budgety pencils. The name of the product is going to change quite frequently. However, you may see a picture that says Brute Furner, or the pencil itself might say Brute Furner, and it is the actual product. But at the same time, you need to kind of do a little bit of research, because there are the occasional times where someone is claiming it's a Brute Furner and it's not. But that's just one of the downsides of those cheap, budgety pencils. They're going to change names a lot, yet the packaging will still say Brute Furner or something like that. So there's always that issue with those kinds of pencils. You can't really get away from it because, I mean, they're offering what, 120 pencils for like $22. So just depends on who's manufacturing it that week. I don't know. Good night, Melissa. Yeah, I do the digital rewards when I can. Like yesterday, I actually needed like stuff within my next day option just because I had some orders to fill and ran out of tins. Don't know how that happened because normally I'm pretty good about inventory, but I don't know. All of a sudden I went to like go make some diamond painting wax and I was like, huh, weird, I'm out of tins. Maybe one of my kids snaked some because I swear there were tins there. But couldn't use the digital credit option, which was quite disappointing because I do enjoy that as well. All right, let's see. I'm going to, all right, I'll zoom out and show you guys how much I've gotten done because it's already 9 o'clock here. How little I've gotten done. It's like so tiny. But yeah, so that's how far I have gotten this evening. It's actually quite a bit. You know, oh, I didn't activate that. Missed that one. So yeah, this is how much I've gotten done. I'll take a picture too, because the lights, my studio lighting over there is not helping. Some of these are looking so much lighter than they are, but this will be fun once I finish this whole thing. But yeah, it's going to take a while, as you can see, because I mean, it's just really repetitive. Like, I'm just going to be constantly do, 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 do. And then the horse itself, or sorry, unicorn, I haven't decided on its color, but I'll have to decide for my background because about here is where background starts. But yeah, I think it's turning out pretty good. I like it. It's pretty. It's gonna take me forever. I mean, granted, you always color slower at a live stream because you're chatting and reading chat. But I mean, this is what I got done in 2.5 hours, and that's not bad. So But yeah, I think I am going to call it an evening. The reason I didn't do background first is because I didn't know what I wanted to do. I'm between doing a whole black background or blue. So I'm on the fence. So I broke my own rule. But yeah, since it's late here and I know it's late for some of you guys further towards the east, I'm going to call it good for tonight. But thank you everyone for hanging out with me. I hope you have a wonderful evening. And yeah, until next time, see you guys later. Bye.